So pretty much every time you see a problem that has the words right triangle in it or right angle, that will be a problem that you can use trigonometry in. Then what you want to do is draw a diagram of the situation. The right angle is always going to go where the right angle is. So in this case, the right angle is angle B is 90 degrees. A can go pretty much anywhere. I'll put it right here. That's 32 degrees, which means that C is right here. Then to finish your diagram, you're going to want to label what you're trying to find. In this case, they're asking for the length of BC, so we'll just call that X. Now it's time for us to actually use trig ratios to solve this problem. You should always just write down the SOHCAHTOA to jog your memory of how to do that and which trig ratio to use. Then you want to label the triangle and choose which angle is your angle of reference. So in this case, I'm going to use A. Opposite A is that side CB with X in it. The hypotenuse is right here, which I forgot to label before. I think that was 6.2 centimeters. And the adjacent side is right here. Now at this point, we're really only concerned with what ratio we're going to use. So let's look at what we're actually trying to find. We're trying to find X, which is the opposite side of the triangle. So there's two ratios with O in it. And we're going to use probably the hypotenuse value, which is given to us, which is 6.2. So by process of elimination, we'll choose sine as our function to use. Then we'll go ahead and actually set up our ratio. So we're going to have sine of our angle, which is 32 degrees, is equal to the opposite side. In this case, that's X. That's what we're trying to find, over 6.2. The setup is the hard part here. So once you've got it set up, all you have to do is solve. The thing that gets most people is seeing this sine of 32. Whenever you see sine or any trig ratio for that matter, and it's attached to a number, it stays attached. You can think of that as one whole number and work with it as if it is one. I like to put them in parentheses to remind myself that I can't really separate the sine or the 32. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to multiply by 6.2 on either side. What happens is the 6.2's cancel here. You're just left with X equal to 6.2 times sine of 32. Again, everybody sees the sine, cosine, tangent, and gets confused. All you have to do now is plug this into your calculator. So you'll enter 6.2, find the sine button, put in the angle, which is 32 degrees, and that's going to give you a number. The number that I got was 3.285, and it repeated infinitely. We need to round it to the nearest tenth so we can get a good look at what our answer is actually going to be. This rounds to 3.3, and we're talking about length here. We're talking about centimeters. So 3.3 centimeters equals X. Remember, X was side CB, which is what they were asking for to begin with, which means the correct response to this problem is 1.